I'm creating this app for it to be tailor-made talaga for the Philippines itself. My dream, my vision for this app is to become one of the premier tourism apps of the Philippines. Advertise, who wants to have a hotel but they don't know how to advertise as much or ano. And at the same time, I've partnered up with a lot of the foreign apps. And I noticed that they're taking advantage of the, sad to say, but of course they helped us at the same time by promoting our local tourism and hotels. But I've seen them take advantage of the local partners because they're foreigners. And once they get, all they care about is the commission and they will leave, right? So during the pandemic, that a lot of the hotels were affected. Even us on our side, we didn't get paid by these hotel apps. And their excuse was the pandemic. So I said, maraming ganito naapektuhan not just us. So I have to launch this because we have to have our own, di ba? If India has their own, Malaysia, Indonesia have their own, US, dapat lalo na tayo sa Philippines. Because Filipinos and the Philippines, we're world-renowned citizens. We have first-class citizens, internationally known tayo, with our talents and the beauty of our country. So in 2020, during the pandemic, I was sick. I had a heart condition, not COVID, but I was very sick. Then I said, God, wala pa akong nagagawa. Kailangan give back somehow. So I said, pag recover mo kanina, I promise I'll do this kasi it's been my project already in my mind. So in November 11, we started it in 2020. Sabi ko, this is it. Yeah. So here we are.
My first question goes to Mr. Jason. So when you were thinking about this app and you are designing it with the developers, so what were the top priorities in terms of features or underlying principles of this designing the app?
So first of all, I would like to thank ODR Technologies. They're here. They're our partner.
Big round of applause to our team.
And also, of course, Filipino developers talaga sila. When Sir Oliver and Miss Anne and I had a contract signing, isa lang yung sinabi ko eh. Sabi ko, we have to make it big sa Philippines in terms of the app. Kasi this will be, this will become one of our pride as Filipinos. Kaya natin makipagsabayan with Agoda, Booking.com, Oyo, Expedia, Trip.com, diba? And sabi ko, it has to be user-friendly. It has to have the charity component. It's a must, sabi ko. Kasi gusto natin mag-help us Filipinos when we book, when we nasa nature natin talaga tumulong. So sabi ko, why not combine it? Kasi nga, at least at the same time, it's guilt-free. Book ka, nakatulong ka pa. So, marami na, it has so much benefits. And again, sabi ko din sa kanila, we have to educate the Filipinos. Like myself, I haven't gone to a lot of the places in the Philippines. Dito sa mga major cities like Davao, Cebu, ganyan. Or I haven't been to, hindi ko makapunta ng Siargao. So I want to be one of those people na I want to educate myself regarding the festivals and the popular destinations and the remote destinations. Yung parang more nationalistic tayo. Kasi I'm proud to be Filipino also. Although I have some Chinese blood, but syempre, iba pa rin ang Pinoy. Di ba, Pops?
Yes, believe na believe.
In terms of user base, I understand it is actually a pretty new service now compared to other competitors like Super App and the other services that you have online. How can you easily, how quickly you can actually compete in terms of user base for Happy Hotels to be able to be more competitive?
So actually, number one, I'm creating this app for it to be tailor-made talaga for the Philippines itself. My dream, my vision for this app is to become one of the premier tourism apps of the Philippines. So we're tying up with DOT, I have an accreditation with them. I'm tying up with OWA for the OFWs. We're tying up with PESTA for the employees of the hotel so that we can exchange back and forth with employees and the workforce for the hotels. And of course, the tourism board and the local LGUs. So for us, the app, there's a lot of phases that we will include in the app. This is just the beginning. Yeah, because we just wanted to launch this, to introduce it already to the Philippines. Because we're so excited in our team. We've been working on it for almost 2 years. And it's still not perfect. So we just said, alam mo, there's nothing, it's hard to be perfect. We have to launch it so that we know what the consumers would need, what the consumers would want. And then from there on, we can tweak it slowly. Because if from now, if we create it as a super app, we won't end. Hindi kami matatapos. So we just want to put it out there. We're a young company and we're going to continue developing the app as we move forward.
As on to my next question, in terms of market disruption, of course, I'm sure you're very much thinking about the market disruption, and the app itself is very limitless, right? So I'm sure in the future you'll be venturing other services, right? As you mentioned.
Yes.
So it will be no longer Happy Hotels, to be
Yeah, so-
super Happy Hotels.
Correct. So, if you notice, when we go on a trip, what do we need? We need flights, we need hotels, we need transportation, we need restaurants where to eat, we need gift certificates or travel vouchers, we need local tourists in that certain place that we're going to. So all of these, we will slowly put it in the app, constantly improving it and evolving it, because we want this to be a complete one-stop shop for travels in the Philippines with announcements and stuff.
Last question for Fabio. Hi, bro. Nice to see you.
Hey, what's up? How are you? Good to see you also.
Nice to see you again. I'm sure you're very skeptical in terms of choosing brands and products you've been endorsing for a couple of years. What made you decide to choose Happy Hotels?
Thank you for the question. First of all, I always tell people, right? Like for me, traveling is one of my addictions. I would rather invest in memories, invest in experience than invest in other things that's not traveling. When I left Brazil, I was 19 years old. I couldn't even speak English. I left Brazil. I told my parents I would go to Hong Kong for 3 months and I would be back to finish my school. And it's been 20 years. So it's been 20 years I've been traveling all over the world. I've been living here for the past 13 years. It has been the happiest 13 years of my life because Philippines became my home. And I would never take that for granted. I just love being here. And I love what I do as an ambassador. I love traveling. I love exploring different places from Siargao to Palawan, Boracay, Caudito, and much more. So when Jay spoke to me and he said if I would be game to be one of the ambassadors, I said yes, because first of all I will help the local tourism. So it's a way of me giving back to the Filipino for embracing me and having me as one of you guys. So I just love that, and I think it's my mission to do that. And I think because I love traveling as well, I think I can really aggregate and I really can help the brand to promote the brand, not just through social media, but also with friends, families overseas, and much more. So I think, like I said a while ago, kung Happy Hotels, happy tayong lahat, and I'm very happy to be part of the hotel. So again, thank you so much, Sir Jay, for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor again to be here. Thank you so much.
So for Sir Jay, first question, I guess the elephant in the room is that, are you going to compete with Airbnb and Klook and the big players out there? And second question, sir, if I'm an owner of a hotel or if a small hostel owner, how do I onboard?
See, I will answer that question first and then you can respond. Yeah. Okay. So, number one, if you look at the app, actually we are going to be focusing on hotels, dormitories, and B&B. Because as travelers, we have so much needs, diba? Iba-iba yung needs natin. We have different budgets, different lifestyles, right? So we would empower the travelers, not to have an excuse. It's too expensive because I can't check in a 5-star hotel. Yeah. So we have options. We have the B&B, which we have a lot, especially here in Tagaytay. And we also have the dormitories for those backpackers, right? And also mga hotels. So in the next phase of the app also, we're gonna have a Klook-like feature, yung mga vouchers and gift certificates and everything. Like I said, we want this to be a premier app for the Philippine tourism And of course, we want to compete with the global players kasi in a way, lamang tayo because we're in the Philippines. Home turf namin to. Hindi tayo pwede magpatalo.
And you're Filipinos.
Right, and we're Filipinos, so we know the heart of the Filipino. We know what we need as Filipinos. We know even the foreigners na, they love staying here like Fabio because he loves Filipinos. The culture, he embraced it, right? So there's so much to be proud of the Filipinos. So yung hospitality pa lang natin panalo na. Actually, that app is just an enhancement of what we have already in store. It's just a supplement. So that's the answer. But to expound on it, my head of business and development is Checha will continue.
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, with the partnership with Happy Hotels, it's very easy. Like using the app, you can book in less than a minute. And with the partnership, we only have 3 steps. First is the meeting, presentation, then signing of contract, then launch. As simple as that. With our partners, rest assured that the percentage of our commissions from every booking is not that much compared with the international OTA that we have right now. Why? Happy Hotels made from the experience, skills, and knowledge of each and everyone from the core team here in the industry. So from the operations of the hotel, from the hotel owner, e-commerce, and the back-end service. Kumbaga, pinagsama-sama kami to build this app. So, alam namin yung needs ng user, alam namin yung needs ng owner, at alam din namin ang needs ng isang traveler because we are also a traveler. So, one thing for sure, Happy Hotels can answer that. As my boss mentioned, we will be a one-stop shop for local Filipinos partners. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chanchet.
So, add to that, we are not yet a super app, but we are a super team.
Last question part po, just to clarify for Fabio, are you also an investor, not just an investor?
No, I'm not an investor. I wish. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm not an investor. I'm just here as a brand ambassador to really represent the brand. Yeah, my new business is really the gin business. But of course, I will give my best to support Jay, and I will endorse the product as if it was really mine. So yeah, but in terms of investment, money-wise, no, I'm not part of it.
Just to add to that, actually, I'm really in touch with Fabio. Kasi we became friends from the Toyota Vios Cup. We're both racers now. And I saw his energy, I saw his love for Filipinos. Everyone is his friend, he knows everybody. He's not just a face and actor, but also a businessman. So he understands when we approached him. I told him about the business and I pitched it to him. He kind of loved it because, like he said, it's giving a way now to say thanks to the Filipinos in his way. So I really thank you, Babs, for thank you so much.
I'd just like to ask, where does sustainable travel place in your model or business ethos?
Check, you want to answer that first? Are you referring to?
Where does sustainable travel place in your model?
Actually, we are prepared with that. The trend right now changes. If you have noticed, before the pandemic, mostly of the travelers came from the Gen Z to millennials. But since we open now in the industry, as we started from the revenge travel, the travelers change from the Gen Z millennials to family, groups, barkadas. So hindi na siya for individuals na lang. So mostly from the statistics came from the Department of Tourism, mas lumakas yung family bonding after the pandemic. And we are talking about GIP or group travelers now because when you travel with your family, sabihin ba natin 5 lang kayo? Minsan, di ba, gusto niyo isama pati in-laws niyo, ang pamilya ng kapatid niyo. So we are talking about 3 to 5 rooms. Once you book, we are prepared with that. That's why mostly of our partners in Happy Hotels, they offer family rooms and barcadas. That's why dormitories, bed and breakfast are included in our phase 1 in Happy Hotels app. So sustainability na. You can count on it. Thank you.
Well, to add to that, no, one of our advocacies of Happy Hotel is to syempre reduce the paper print. No? So we don't need to print yung mga vouchers, tickets, and all. Everything will be printed already. And of course, like with the charity, no, we want to give back. Parang it's part, hindi naman paying your like guilt or whatever, but we want to share that. Kung ano yung experience namin with regards to traveling, we can share it with the less fortunate. So in terms of the core values of the company, we really want to impact the local tourism industry in such a way na puro positive. Because there's so many things, negative things in the world, at least on our side, that's an app, when they're there, when they don't, they have a nice experience and they're somehow giving back to the community. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, ma'am. We have another. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm James from Business Mirror. Question is, currently only local hotels are included in the Happy Hotels app. Is there a plan to include international hotels in the near future?
Yes. Sige.
Right now, Happy Hotels will focus for Philippine brands. So, hotel partners lang po muna. But it doesn't mean that we will stick for Philippines alone. But we will bring the brand globally. It means we will bring guests from international coming here in the Philippines.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. So, any more questions from the media? Hi! Partner from Meeting for there.
Hello po. My question is for Fabio, because you're the ambassador of Happy Hotels. So, where do you plan to travel and use Happy Hotels for the first time?
I think I would say my first trip is gonna be back to Siargao, because Siargao is really became my #1 destination in the Philippines. I love surfing. I made a lot of friends there. I think so far that would be for sure my #1 destination once I start using Happy Hotels.
What do you think are the best destinations here in the Philippines?
Well, Philippines is such a big country, right? Like even a while ago, you were mentioning that it's like 7,600 islands. I don't know why, but I was told the same story that it was 7,107. But I think they had the high tide, low tide kind of thing. Well, Philippines offers so many beautiful places to visit. I would say, for example, if you're a person who loves activities, surfing activities or water sports, you can go to Siargao. If you love a place where you just want to relax and snorkel, you can go to Palawan. If you want to go to a place where you can party, speak a different language, meet people also from all different parts of the world. I love Cebu, for example. If you want to go and relax and party also and meet other people, try different water sports as well, you can go to Boracay. I mean, Philippines offers so many different kind of places to visit, entertainment, places to eat. It's just like it's paradise, I would say. Like when I speak to my friends from overseas, bro, how about the Philippines? I'm like, bro, this is like paradise. I think like you have to come here to understand, see it with your own eyes. I also tell my Brazilian friends that when I came here for the first time, this was like Brazil in Southeast Asia for me, a place where I could really feel at home. I could understand a little bit of the language. I could appreciate the food. I could appreciate so many things. So it's just really like it's the #1 destination for me in the world. So it's very easy to promote sa mga kaibigan ko.
Sir, you mentioned about cybersecurity a while ago. So that partnered with Union Bank, one of the Philippine banks that is very, very secure. But would you please give us some particulars on how are you going to protect the data, the personal information of people who are going to be downloading the app and who are going to use it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that question, sir. So, #1, sir, that's why we partnered with the best, Union Bank, because our personal data, especially for payment system, is very important. We don't want to get active too. So that's why we secured them as a partner, because they're the leading bank in terms of technology and payment gateway. With regards to personal information, when you download now, we only ask for limited information. we do not ask for yung mga many personal information. We just limited what we need for you to be able to book your hotels and hopefully book your passports. But everything is secured. Rest assured, we are spending also a lot for the security of the servers and everything with the help of ODR. And that's one of the important talaga namin goals na we shouldn't get hacked. Because sa hack lang, masisira ka dyan. So, you want to expand on that?
And aside from that, sir, we also have a feature that if you request to deactivate or delete the information you encoded earlier, we can provide it to you. So it's an easy access because, like we said, we also put ourselves in your shoes. So what are the things that we needed as a user, we provided as well. Thank you.